Welcome to our estate sale preview this week. This week we're just south of Windsor Hills, which is at 23rd and North Meridian. We're going to start in the living room. This is a really great little sale. It is a little time capsule. It is full of 50s and 60s items. They really didn't buy anything pretty much after that. This item, which is a Duncan Phyfe styled curio cabinet, which is probably from the 40s, solid mahogany, almost mint condition. We've got really cool stuff, lots of porcelains, as you're going to see. Starting over here, we've got an amazing collection of 1950s and 1960s Halloween outfits. These are little kids' costumes, costumes decor. There's a vintage saddle. There's Superman, just really neat stuff. Some of them are still brand new in the box, have never been opened. Over here in the corner, we've got several Hummels. There's a piece of Roseville, some Royal Copley. There's like 6 or 7 Hummels, I believe, and a lot of hand-cut crystal. Plus, we are also selling the curio cabinet. We've got kind of a mid-century styled coffee table. And over here, we have tons and tons of glasswares. Little dining room set with what is a draw leaf. We have the matching curio cabinet. On the table, we've got some of the Fostoria American. We have the punch bowl. In another room, we've got a lot more of it. We also have the pink Mason's Vista. And in another room, we have the very rare brown Mason's Vista. We have several sets of china. As you're going to see, we have Lenox Glendale pattern. We have 2 place settings of it. We have a full service of Haviland china that's right here. We've got lots of, you name it, it's pretty much Occupy Japan, Lenox, every single maker you can think of is pretty much represented in the house. And we're going to go down the hall. We've got some milk glass. We have Westmoreland, some Fenton, some unnamed stuff. We've got this bed, which I believe is either a Jenny Lind bed or a spool bed. In the bathroom, we have all these little perfume bottles, and like I said, tons and tons of stuff from the 50s and 60s, some really kind of neat kitschy stuff. We've got another closet full of clear glassware, and in this bedroom, we've got tons of vintage linens, tons of lamps. We have a Gone with the Wind lamp over here. We've got tons of cool little stuff. We have a vintage record player, cedar chest. We have bowls full of seashells. Over here we have tons of vintage little linens and just tons of aprons. Cool little 50s and 60s aprons. Right here we have a tiny, tiny little desk with a globe on top. Next little room that we're going to go into. 2 more beds. And tons of little knickknacks. It's like knickknack galore. Plates, collector's plates, gold standard china. We have vintage Pyrex. There's Frankoma. There's Corningware. We've got lots of little it's hand-cut crystal. Over here we have a ton of Fostoria American. I believe we have Wexford. We also have the Star David pattern. And next room is probably one of the coolest rooms we've got. This is where all the vintage toys and vintage games are. We're going to start up here. We have a huge owl collection. There's owls all over the house. And we have a computer armoire and a leather office chair. And over here, an amazing collection of 1950s, 1960s games. Everything's still brand new in the box. There's tin toys. There's a tin game. In this box right here, it's a circus shoot game. There's radios. There's just about everything that you can imagine. wooden puzzles, and another saddle. The first saddle you saw was probably for a pony. This is actually a full-size saddle. We have an antique senior sewing machine. Accessories. Over here we have a vintage antique violin and a little glider rocking chair. We have lots of maple furniture in the house. And some roosters and chickens. And then up here in the closet, lots of old vintage games. Some of this stuff is, the Whitman games. We have lots of VHS kids movies. And over here, a lot more games. Some of the dates on the stuff are in the 50s, 60s. More cool little vintage toys and kid stuff. Now, we're going to go into the kitchen. This kitchen is like a little time capsule. It is still exactly the way it was, except for the refrigerator that it was made in the 60s. And most of the cookware is all still vintage. We have some Chicken of the Rough glasses, if you're a Beverly's fan. And got lots of Corningware. There's Pyrex. Lots of collector's glasses. Got the 3 set of Pyrex, or the set of 4 Pyrex bowls, the multicolor. We have some jadeite. And this huge table full of cookware. She inherited from both parents, so she never got rid of anything, so she has everything left over from all of her parents that she inherited also. Over here, we've got an antique brass fire extinguisher, and we also have the antique brass cash register. Tons of little records, and some 45s that are really cool. They're little kids records. Still have the original sleeves on them. And back here we've got costume jewelry. This is the necklaces that are hung up. We've also got bins full of earrings and bracelets and stuff that we haven't got on the little cards yet to get them hung up. And this entire box is full of the better stuff that's going to be locked up in a case. There is lots of rhinestone pieces. Almost everything is named. Some really neat pieces. And some more Frankoma. If you like crockery, we have a Red Wing 3-gallon jug that's signed and everything. And lots more vintage. Down here we've got all these books, pretty much everything like the rest of the house, 50s and 60s. A couple of bookcases. And in here, lots of really great little vintage hats. We've got some Boy Scout memorabilia. There's some Boy Scout backpacks. These are Navy leggings. We've got stuff from the 60s. We also have stuff from World War II. Over here we got some vintage cameras. And over there in the corner, that is a little tiny armoire. And a little child's rocker that's hand carved. Over here we have Mason's Brown Vista. If you're a collector of China, you'll know that this is actually much rarer than the pink Vista that's inside. It's pretty hard to get. This is Crown Ducal Bristol pattern. We have almost an entire set. And some vintage curtain rods. These are the ones that swing out. They're made in the 20s and 30s. And some vintage purses. Now we're going to go down to the laundry room. In the laundry room, it's a little treasure trove of vintage Christmas. Some of the Christmas is new. A lot of the Christmas is antique. Lots of shiny bright ornaments. Lots of little vintage stuff. Lots of stuff still has the original boxes when they bought it. With these vintage little, let's see, the little bubble lights. And over here, more antique ornaments. And lots of lights that are still in the boxes. Okay, next room in the garage. we've got a shopsmith, and we have a drill and cordless drill and flashlight. Got a scroll saw, lots of little hand tools. There's a scroll saw. This is an antique vintage forge that the guy won in a poker tournament. Kind of has a neat little history. Over here, we've got tons of older hand tools. There is an iron collection. And let's see, we have aquariums, all sorts of just miscellaneous stuff that they've collected over the years. They didn't really get rid of anything the entire time they lived here. They just kept sticking it back up in the attic. So it is really just an amazing collection and an amazing assortment of just everything that they found for the last 50 years. We have this refrigerator. It's great for a garage. It works. And what I'm not going to show you, but it is really cool to see, they used to have a playhouse outside back in the 50s and 60s, and we still have all the little wood furniture that the kids used to play with, and all of that is in the shed outside. It's too dark and too cold to go out there right now, but you come to the sale, it is really kind of a cool little sight to see. So that wraps up our walkthrough tour. Might be hard to see in the pictures, but if you come spend some time, you'd be amazed at some of the cool stuff that's here. So we hope to see you this weekend. Bye-bye.